Have you ever tried to teach a younger sibling something, such as how to read? I'm letting you know it's a disaster, especially when they don't sit still. Not that I sit still very much either. I'm sitting next to Jeremy with a picture book, the younger brother is Jeremy, on the living room floor. He's got the terrible twos, as the adults call it, and he's not fully potty trained yet. So mom and dad are having the time of their lives as well. Imagine that lesson, this is an eye roll. I open the picture book and flip past the title page and other information that nobody cares about. I start on the first page, pointing each word as I slowly read it aloud to Jeremy, encouraging him to repeat the words back to me. He stares at the book for a few seconds while we do this, and I get the occasional utterance of a word from him. Of course, he doesn't know how to pronounce everything just yet, but he's trying. When he's not trying to put another toy in his mouth or screaming. Why did mom and dad give me a younger brother exactly? This goes on peacefully for a couple of minutes before he decides to smack me across the face out of nowhere. Why do I even bother with this kid? He's such a pain in the ass. I get up from the floor and walk towards the kitchen. My mouth has been doing more running than my legs today, and I'm thirsty. I grab the small stepladder from the coat closet to get myself a clean glass and turn on the sink to put water in it. Don't worry, our water supply in Ohio is clean. I take 2 gulps out of the water in my glass before I hear Jeremy start to scream and cry again. What did he do now? I rush back to the living room and I find Jeremy showing me his right index finger, which is bleeding. I sigh, exasperated, and can't figure out what he could have done on God's green earth to have this outcome from a distance. I walk closer to him and see that's just a little paper cut. He's so dramatic. Boo-boo, he says to me, tears still welling in his eyes. I roll my eyes as I head towards the bathroom, which is adjacent to my parents' bedroom. We have first aid supplies in the medicine cabinet in the downstairs bathroom. It was then that I remembered I'm still a little short to reach it, so I get the stepladder out of the kitchen to help. I grab the smallest Band-Aid I could find, a small rag with a dab of soapy water on it, and he cries louder, but I tighten my grip on Jeremy to get him to stay still. After drying it off, I apply the ointment and then the bandage. Better? Jeremy smiled and giggled before he gave me a quick hug. I guess he's cute sometimes, when he's not being chaotic or destructive. About 10 minutes later, I hear a familiar chime that gets louder as it moves closer to my house. The ice cream truck has arrived. I look around for Mom because I need $1 to go get some ice cream. The chocolate ice cream sounds really good right now. I find her in the bathroom, cleaning the sink and tub. Mom, can I have $1? What for? I want ice cream. The ice cream truck is coming. Oh, okay, I guess that's fine. I'll keep an eye on your brother. She reaches into her purse and gives me a $1 bill. Thanks, Mom. I run to out the side door of the house as fast as my legs carry me. This ice cream truck moves pretty fast and doesn't stay still for very long. After running after this truck for about a minute, I finally get to his window. What can I get started for you today, son? He says. He's an older gentleman in his late 50s, but seems youthful at heart. Chocolate ice cream, please. Would you like it in a cone or a cup? Cone, please. Single scoop. Yes, please. All right, that'll be 25 cents. Will that be all for you today? Yes, that's it. I hand him a $1 bill, and he gives me back 75 cents in change. After putting the change in my pocket, he hands me a cone with the fattest single scoop of chocolate ice cream I've ever seen in my short life. Thank you so much, I said just before I licked the glob that sat atop this waffle cone. You're very welcome, young man. I started walking back home, this time more cautiously so I don't spill or splatter this huge ice cream serving that I'm holding in my right hand. I go back the way I left, out through the side door of the house. After about a minute, I return to the house and look for Mom to give her the change I hadn't used on ice cream. She's not in the kitchen, she's not in my parents' room or the living room. I stand on top of the stairs leading to the basement and call for her there. Mom! Faintly, I hear her respond, Yes? I'm back. Where do you want the change? There's a pause for a few seconds. Just put it on the counter to the right of the kitchen sink. Okay. I carry the 75 cents in my pocket and place it in the spot she requested in the kitchen. Immediately after, I head up to my room and get out my Scrabble board. Sometimes I like to see how many words I can come up with on my own, moving up the dozen stairs quickly. Rarely do I find myself playing this with my friends, since most of them don't seem interested enough in playing the game. 30 minutes later, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs leading to my room. Jeremy's room is just across a short hallway from mine. They don't sound like Mom's footsteps. Hers are too light. These sound like heavier footsteps, so it's gotta be Dad. Although my door is open, he knocks on it. I turn my head to look at him and see what he wants. Hi, Dad. Hey, what do you have going on there? I'm just playing Scrabble by myself right now. How'd you feel about going to the park? He inquired. Mothy? Nah, I was thinking of going to Yellow Creek Park. Have we been there before? Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever taken you. I used to go all the time as a kid myself, though. Uncle Greg and I loved going. Sure, let me just put my shoes on. All right, I'll wait for you downstairs. Come out the side door when you're ready. He leaves the general area of my room and the upstairs, and I silently put on my sneakers and lace them up. I ran down the stairs as quickly as possible, trying not to lose my balance on the way. As I was about to walk out the house's side door, Mom stopped me. Where do you think you're going, young man? To Yellow Creek Park with Dad. Oh, well, all right, just be back for dinner. Okay, Mom, I love you. I ran out the door with the rest of the way and went to the car in the shed. Dad had the engine running already, and I got in, closing the door while seated. You ready? He says, looking at me expectantly. I'm ready. Dad puts the car in reverse and starts to make his way down the long driveway. We may have one of the longest driveways on this block of our neighborhood. Once the rear of the car crosses into Omar Street, Dad shifts into drive and begins navigating to Yellow Creek Park. To my surprise, it's only a little over a mile away. That's walking distance in my book. I've been to Yellow Creek a few times before, so I'm not sure why this surprises me. Maybe I just never paid enough attention. Once we parked and got out of the car at Yellow Creek, I noticed that Dad was rummaging with something in his pocket while his eyes were looking forward. What are you messing with? I asked, looking towards his pocket. Oh, I brought some food for the ducks. What is it, though? What is some food? We make our way across the wooden bridge that connects opposite sides of the park to slightly lower ground, and I hold on to Dad's forearm in the process. And throughout the park, including the area we were currently in, are large grassy areas and even some wooded. Below the bridge is a small lake that ducks and various species of fish and other water creatures call home. Trees provide structure throughout the park, and I'm no stranger to sitting under one of them for shade and enjoying the moment. Once we are close enough to the lake, Dad unfurls his left hand from his pocket and allows me to grab a few pieces of food for any ducks that come our way. A female duck waddles her way closer to us. She seems young and looks up at me like she's expecting food. I guess a lot of people come here to feed the ducks and fish. I have placed 2 pieces of food on the ground, and she happily bends her neck down and grabs them with her beak to consume them. Coming up behind her is a duckling, which I assume is her baby. The duckling copies the behavior of her mother, approaching me and looking at me for food. Dad, can I have more? Sure, he says as he grabs more out of his pocket and hands it to me. Is that all of it? Yeah, I think so. I grasp the rest of the food and start giving it on the ground for the mama duck and her duckling to feast on. After they've eaten all of it, we walk around the park a little bit and stop under a tree for a few minutes before we head back to the car to go home. Madam Toastmaster.